Hello, good evening, and welcome to Thingamajig's Racing Channel. We are here with the World Racing Community and their brand new championship. The MX5s are the vehicles that they have decided to use. They're going to have 3 qualifying heats, where in each heat they score points towards their grid positions for a final race of 30 minutes. And as we are constrained at these times, we are going to try and whip through these heats, ladies and gentlemen, as quickly as we can possibly do so. It's a randomized grid, so Autosport is on pole with Hud's second, Thunder is starting in third, Kato starts fourth, MJ in fifth. We've got Jay Daniels, JD, in sixth, with Beeks in seventh. We've got Hesketh starting in eighth, that's the old Deviant. And then we have Optimus Prime in ninth and AT Racing starting in 10th. 15-minute heat to go towards their final starting position for the race at the end of all of this. Autosport off to a great start there with Hud's chasing him down in the monster Mazda, but Kato looking rather spicy. Up around the outside, we are at Sardegna for this first round in this first heat. So Autosport at the moment pulling away from the crew. Kato up to second, but it's 3 wide with Hud's and the Thunder. And Thunder trying to find a way by, but he comes up short against Kato and Hud's, and Kato comes out on top just about ahead of the Hud's there. Hud's getting a little squirrel as he tries to get the accelerator on, and he's got 3 wide behind him with Thunder, MJ and the Beeks. And MJ then slipping, he's still in fifth. Where he started, someone's gone wide. Who was that? MJ there in sixth. He's not gained any places, it seems. Hesketh is on the move. Thunder is up to third now. So it must have been Hud's who went wide. And he slipped down the order a little bit there. It is only a qualifying heat though. Oh, he's got a lot of damage, a lot of damage there. MJ as well with big damage, so they must have hit each other at racing, also with damage. And Optimus Prime looks like he has just given himself a bit of damage there. So Autosport continues on in a strong position. Kato chasing after him, Thunder in third, Hesketh is up to fourth there with Beeks now in fifth. We got JD in sixth, ahead of the Hud's, who that damage is, he's walked it off, it's gone now, so Hud's can get back on with the job of getting on and hope some other people fall off the track to gain some position. MJ as well, who got caught up in all of that, in eighth with the Bob as well in ninth. Optimus Prime in 10th. Optimus Prime a little bit far to be able to gain ground. So it's all about Autosport then, trying to get this heat win done. And Kato has other plans for him. Kato hunting him down. And Thunder then in third place, but under pressure from Hesketh. Hesketh looking tidy, but so is the Beeks on board with Beeks ba da do bop Beeks ba. Oh, big problems there for Kato. Kato off the road. We've both just all whizzed past him here in the top 3, and it looked like Thunder was off the road as well, but he somehow managed to keep it in line and stays in second place as Hesketh now chases him down. Another position gained by the Hesketh. Beeks then in fourth, and Kato slipping down into fifth. Not what they were looking for in this race. They're racing on the sports soft tyres. And Jay Daniels in sixth place at the moment, and MJ ahead of the Hud's. But they're all starting to close up to each other now. We've got a little soiree of racing further down the field here in 7th, 8th and 9th, closing in on each other. Jay Daniels at the moment in 6th, chasing down Kato, who lost a lot of positions there. Beeks in 4th, Thunder. Hesketh's moved up into 2nd place now. The Hesketh up into second, chasing down Autosports. It's tough. It's tough to watch the sport, I'm afraid, with his bounciness. Look, it's not his fault. America have got some of the best infrastructure of internet. It's just getting across the water, it seems, is a struggle for it. Hesketh then in second place, Thunder in third. Then we've got the Beaks in fourth. Very close racing here as JD nearly drops it into the kitty litter, and that's going to help MJ no end. He's a little too far back at the moment, but if there's many more of those slight mistakes, then MJ will be hunting himself a sixth place as Bob gets himself past the Hoods at the moment, and AT Racing on his way up to eighth, with the Hoods in ninth. Optimus Prime finding his groove in 10th at the moment, but Autosport flying out there in the lead. Absolute huge lead as well. It's going to be tough for these guys to close that up. Hesketh fancies the chances. Beaks makes a move on Thunder there, does he? Thunder coming back. Thunder coming back at the Beaks, but the Beaks holds strong in that third spot, and Thunder then just sitting in behind as Kato looks like he's slipping back from that battle. He was closer than that last time around. JD, even we saw he had a small off, he seems closer to Kato now. MJ has been caught by AT Racing and the Hoods, so MJ in a bit of bother at the moment as they try to find their way through. And MJ, the fly in their ointment. AT having a look this way or the other as we're on board with 8th place as he tries to find a way past. He takes the Norris line off the road and gets himself onto that apex, and position done and dusted for AT. Then up and into 7th, MJ in 8th playing defense against the Hoods, and Optimus Prime in 9th. We've got the Autosport flying out there, fastest man on track so far in this race, flying with Hesketh chasing him down, who now just takes that fastest lap away from him, and Hesketh really is bolting some RPMs out there. Beaks in 3rd, but he's being harassed and harung by the Thunder. And Thunder, though, finds a little wiggle through the car. You saw the car land awkwardly there, and he was just a passenger into the kitty litter, and that gives Beaks a little bit of breathing space. Our Flying Dutchman now can just concentrate on chasing after Hesketh, who looks like he is adamant he wants to catch up the sport in this race, and we're only 7 minutes in, not even halfway yet, so there is opportunity and chance still to do so. Beaks then in 3rd, hunting them down. Thunder, after his little shaky moment, being caught by JD. OMG, we've lost Kota, or whatever his name was, altogether. They've gone. They have dispersed, ladies and gentlemen. So JD now up into 5th and starting to put pressure on the Thunder. AT Racing dispensing of, and Hoods has got himself past the MJ also. MJ finding that rear end a little tricky, coming through the corner, and has to rearrange himself and get back on with the business of getting on as the Hoods takes a break from racing, and now can do a bit of cruising for a little while in 7th. MJ 8th has to dust himself off, get back on the horse, and Optimus Prime also not finding the pace in the Mazda at the moment. Autosport in the 31s, low 31s for Autosport as he makes his way around this beautiful racecourse. I do like Sardegna, I must say. I am a fan. And Hesketh then 31.6, so lost a bit of time there to Autosport that last lap around, and this one slower still. Hesketh then, he's not gonna be able to catch up Autosport at this point. It seems a little bit over the curves, but he's kept it together. Beaks chasing him down. Beaks is there, in with a shout. And Thunder now has his own woes with JD to concern himself with. The Daniels coming in strong here in the Mazdas, ladies and gentlemen, finding his feet. And the Thunder, he's going faster than he has gone before, though. He has been spurned. He has been spurned along. AT Racing, faster than the actual wind, ladies and gentlemen. AT Racing, always there or thereabouts in the championships. And a hard guy to beat on track for these guys. No sign of the cull this round. So AT Racing has only got himself to worry about the Hesketh in this group. So he goes across the line, finds himself in the 30s as he chases down J Daniels ahead, and the Thunder, Hoods behind. 34.2 from Hoods last time about, and a 34.4 from the MJ. And Optimus Prime still trying to find, I mean, he's not done many miles as well. I bet he's only just jumped into the car to give it a go. And it's got some quirks, it's got some strange habits. You can't late brake in this car or the back end will step out. And yeah, you've got to just treat it with a bit of respect. If you drive it nicely, smoothly, it's not a bad car to drive. But yeah, if you're a bit sharp and a little bit aggressive with it, it will not comply. So Autosport at the moment out there in the lead. Hesketh chasing him down, but I don't think Hesketh has got the pace, especially as Autosport got the fastest lap last time around. And Hesketh then, all he can do is hunt him down. Beeks in third. And I think Beeks may be getting caught. A 32.5 from Beeks last time around. Thunder with a 31.9. Thunder has intentions with 4 minutes of racing left to go. And it does look like Thunder has the intentions to take back that third spot, giving him a good amount of points going through the heats to the starting grid of the main race. But Thunder at the moment closing in on the Beeks, but we know the Beeks has the pace. He has the pace. He showed it earlier in the race. So but a 33.6 that time around as he slides the Mazda through the corner. He is dragging that Mazda through this track here at Sardegna. And Thunder, all he can do is chase. JD in fifth. We've got the Bob in sixth. Hoods is in seventh. A 37.5 from Hoods. That was a tough lap. Luckily, and MJ did a 32.9, so MJ is coming in strong at the end of this race. Hoods best prepare himself for battleage, because the MJ is bringing the noise, ladies and gentlemen, of the Mazda MX5. Optimus Prime in ninth, getting to grips, getting some speed out of the car now, and starting to feel more comfortable in that cockpit. Autosport, though, the leader, comes around to put a lap on Optimus Prime as he goes across the line to start his ninth lap, and just over 12 minutes on the clock. So we've got a good couple of laps left. This probably is the penultimate lap, possibly. Hesketh a ways back in second place. He needs a bit of an offage from the sport here, and it's not looking like it's going to happen. So Hesketh in second place at the moment. Thunder under pressure. No, Thunder's gone and got that third place away from the Beeks. We said the Beeks' pace was dropping off later into this race, and Thunder's picking up. And there you go, Thunder now up and into third spot, and the Flying Dutchman is left down in fourth, scratching his head, and he's got to be careful because the Bob has got himself past JD and is on his way, and the Bob taking the fastest lap of the race. And my word, he's only just jumped into this car, unless he bought a new car for the championship. But the Bob, only 20 miles on this car as he chases down the Beeks, who is well adapted to the MX5. Thunder, also not many miles for the Thunder as well, so he's just getting acclimatized to the car, unless they bought new ones. Oh, Beeks goes in for a late lunge from the Beeks there, and Thunder still has his nose ahead, but Beeks gets a better drive out of the corner, and by the way, Bob is just overtaking the pair of them on the inside, but Bob gets a bit of a wiggle on mid-corner. Thunder still keeps his nose ahead of the Bob, and JD is in there with the action, stirring it up, you may say. Thunder then hunting himself Beeks. After Beeks is really late, it was a late lunge, and I'm surprised. I didn't think he got it, but it seemed like Thunder slowed down mid-corner a little bit, and then Beeks managed to get through. So, yeah, I would never have dreamed in a million years that would have worked. But the Beeks pulled it off there as Thunder tries to go for around the outside. And Bob cuts them both up the inside there. Is it enough? And Beeks tries to drive back past the Bob. But the Bob's holding on strong there. Beeks does get himself ahead. But Bob's climbing all over the rear derriere of him. And it's AT Racing now, giving it large in 4th place against the Beeks. And Thunder there in 5th and JD in 6th. It's action-packed here, just off the top 3. Well, they're fighting for that top 3rd finish to go into Heat 2, which is also a random grid. Heat 3 is a random grid. And then they count up the points of what they've gained from these races, and then they go into the final race. Well, the flag is out. MJ has taken the flag. MJ's taken the flag in 8th place. Optimus Prime's facing the wrong way, and here comes Autosport then to take the win of the first heats. Great stuff from Autosport. Hesketh looks like he's getting the 2nd best points of the day here in Heat 1 as AT Racing wrestles 3rd place away from Beeks. And yeah, that's at Racing then. AT Racing, sorry. Crosses the line in 3rd. JD from nowhere comes up in 4th. Beeks in 5th. Thunder slipping down to 6th. He'll be disappointed with that result. Optimus Prime crosses the line in 9th. And all we have is the Hoods left on track to finish his race, his heat, should I say. It's not a race. It is a race, but it's not a race. It's a qualifying heat. Okay, then. So, Autosport takes first blood in Heat 1. Hesketh in 2nd. Then we got AT Racing flying through the pack there in 3rd. JD in the end there, jumping Beeks and Thunder for 4th. Beeks in 5th. We've got the Thunder in 6th. We've got Hoods finishing in 7th. MJ in 8th. Optimus Prime in 9th. Fancy transition time to now, and the grid has been randomised. And we've got Optimus Prime on the pole with AT Racing starting in 2nd, Hesketh starting 3rd, Thunder starts 4th, MJ again in 5th. MJ is getting the middle straw, not short or long. MJ in 5th again. Beeks starts in 6th. The Hood starts 7th. Autosport this time starting 8th. And JD starts 9th. And it doesn't look like Koto's coming back. Oh, whoever he's called. That's a shame. He was good. We liked him. Come back, Koto. Save Koto. Let's start a movement. Anyway, no hanging around. I've got 60 minutes. So this is a 15-minute race. I just mean I've got to put 3 heats together in a 60-minute before I run out of time. Anyway, never mind. Let's just get on. So the lights are on for Heat 2, ladies and gentlemen. They tot up the points from the heats to decide that final grid. The lights are out, and Thunder off to an absolutely stunning start, jumping Hesketh off of the line, and his car was shaking and wiggling like a mofo as he pulled away, and he somehow found a little traction there as he looks like he was looking to take the lead, but Hesketh's come back ahead of him, with Optimus Prime losing that lead to AT Racing, who is going to be absolutely barnstorming now. He's going to lay it down for the rest to see. He's the plumber, and he is laying down pipe, ladies and gents. Hesketh then up and into 2nd as we see Optimus Prime going a little bit wide. He gets back on track. Not too serious, nothing to be see here. Let's move on. Optimus Prime in 8th. MJ off to a terrible start. Maybe he was caught in the toilet when the lights went out, and AT Racing leads from the Hesketh. Thunder, another good showing. Or is he going to just throw it all away on the final corner and lose 2 spots? We'll have to wait and see. JD up against the Hoods. The Hoods getting very close and personal there around the outside of JD. But JD manages to hold on as Hood slips it up the inside and says thank you very much. Hood's up to 4th place now. It's not quite a done deal as the JD stays in with a shout. But now the Hoods closes that door and says stay back, boy, it's time to shine. So the Hoods up and into 4th place with JD in 5th. We've got the Beaks in 6th, Autosport in 7th, MJ in 8th, and Optimus Prime there in 9th. Still getting to grips with the machinery. AT Racing leads the way with Hesketh getting very close, very personal here between the 2 drivers. They have beef. Not really. It's just it sounds good, doesn't it? Thunder in 3rd spot with the Hoods chasing him down. They're in 4th, being everyone else is coming. Beaks and the JD. Beaks is through though. Beaks has found a way up and into 5th place ahead of JD, who had an outstanding finish to the first heat. And Autosport, who led all the way, and now has to find himself in a bit of traffic here in 7th, being caught by MJ. And it seems like Autosport, some reason, not on the pace there at the moment, dropped really far off JD, and MJ has managed to get through and get up ahead of Autosport. So MJ into 7th after a poor start. JD all over the back of the Beaks, who is catching up with the Hoods. A lovely little battle here for 4th, 5th and 6th in this little heat here. The Hesketh closing in on AT Racing, but AT Racing seems to have his dominance all tied up. But Hesketh did take that fastest lap away from him that time around. And yeah, it's a clash of the Titans here in Heat 2, ladies and gentlemen, between AT Racing and the Hesketh. Thunder in 3rd place with the Hoods in 4th. He's been a very naughty boy. He's got a penalty. The Beaks and Daniels, they can't decide which order they wish to be in, but the Beaks wants to be ahead. Oh, the Hoods has got somehow ahead of the Beaks somewhere along the way. So big up to the Hoods. Oh, Beaks there, getting caught out a little bit wide. Jay Daniels trying to have a look up the inside. It didn't quite work out. Beaks looked like he was on a spin, but he got it back together, and that spaced them out quite nicely for MJ and the Sport to come in. Autosport going back on the attack with MJ as we look at them bounce all over the show, and MJ keeps hold of the position as Autosport shimmies around. Oh, and somehow Autosport collecting the MJ mid-corner, has to wait for him, and MJ gets going again as Autosport sits and waits. JD, that's lovely for him. A big space now opening up behind him. He doesn't have to concern himself with the MJ or Autosport closing in on his rear derriere. And now he can concentrate on this battle ahead of him between the Beaks and the Hoods. Beaks, though, goes ahead, back up and into 4th place with the Hoods setting chase. Thunder all by himself, all alone. Is he, though? Because Hesketh just takes the lead away from AT Racing, and Hesketh coming in strong. AT Racing, though, you know, he won't sit around for that. He will not take that abuse. He will not stand for this aggression, sir. And he'll be trying to find a way back past the Hesketh. But at the moment, Hesketh doing all he needs to do to keep the Bob at bay. AT Racing up alongside. Nothing doing there, sir, as he tries to tuck underneath the Hesketh, and he's getting a good drive out of the corner, but he's on the outside now, and Hesketh plants it on to the apex, giving Bob no chance. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, our boy Thunder is closing in rapidly. Could he steal a win here in this heat from the Hesketh and AT Racing as they do battle, sir? And Thunder closing in nicely now. Thunder right on their tail from Thunder's point of V. We see the side-by-side action from Hesketh and AT Racing as they break into the corner, and Thunder seeing if there's any kind of wiggle room around the outside of the Hesketh. There was not. So Hesketh then holds his line but falls down into second place as AT Racing takes over the crown of Heat 2. They both go wide. They both go wide. OMG, ladies and gentlemen, Thunder is LOLing as they go wide. Thunder then up and into first place as AT Racing in second, Hesketh in third, and what a blooper. What an absolute stinker from the two aliens there, finding themselves being burned by the Thunder, slapped around the face by Monsieur Thunder, I presume. Come on, Thunder. Take it all the way. 7 minutes into this heat, ladies and gentlemen, and the Thunder absolute blinding move. AT Racing, though, has his target set, and he is aiming for the Thunder now as he is being chased by the Hesketh. Beaks in fourth, just ahead of the JD, but JD is giving it some big driving. So Beaks under a lot of pressure. The Flying Dutchman struggling under the watchful eye of JD, who fancies taking control of the situation here, getting himself up to fourth. The Hoods following them through in sixth place, more than capable, more than enough pace on board with the Hoods to take that fight to the guys ahead of him. 32-1 last time for the Hoods. JD at 32-1 also, and he goes for a move on the Beaks up the inside. Is it enough? He's flashing his wheels at the Beaks, but the Beaks holds on. The Beaks holds on, ladies and gentlemen. He does reign supreme, as they say. And the Beaks holds that fourth place as we see the Hoods going slightly wide, and Daniels again having another look up the inside of the Hoods, the Beaks, sorry. And the Beaks is he's defiant, ladies and gentlemen, defiant under the pressure of the JD as the Hoods closes in ever closer, but he's got himself a naughty boy penalty. Autosport has got himself past the MJ and is the fastest moving missile on track at the moment, and Autosport then trying to close in on the gap ahead. MJ in 8th place ahead of Optimus Prime. Thunder leads is the big news here at the moment. We're 9 minutes into a 15-minute heat, the second heat of the day. The first one we saw Autosport take the spoils, and then this one it looked like it was going to be either AT Racing or Hesketh. They both went a little wide, and that gave Thunder the opportunity to come in and take the Valor. He's not stealing the Valor, he's taking the Valor. They know about it. He's not being sneaky. He's just walked in. The Valor was there on the table, right in front of him, right under the noses. He's picked it up, he's looked him in the eyes, says, I'll have this. And he's walked away. And there's nothing AT Racing and the Hesketh can do except for chasing down now, and they have got at least 5 minutes to try and alter the results of this race, and they are pushing, ladies and gents. But the Thunder has a real can-do attitude when it needs to, and he is giving it some big driving, like I said. Beaks holding off the JD there for 4th and 5th. JD giving all the beans that he can, the kidneys and all the other beans, the baked, the jumping, all of them. Runner. Oh, he's trying to get it up the inside there, but the Beak says no, sir. The Beaks, he does not agree with that manoeuvre, and you can stay there in 5th. Hud's getting closer, but so is Autosport. Remember when Autosport was the fastest missile we saw on track? Well, Hesketh has taken that away from him, but what he cannot take away from him is now he has clear sights, ladies and gentlemen, on the Hoods, JD and Beaks. It's game on in the Autosport cockpit, ladies and gents, and he is aiming to finish higher than 7th place. Man alive, he won Heat 1, remember. Don't you know who he is? MJ down in 8th with Optimus Prime in 9th. Thunder still clinging on to that lead. We are in 11 minutes. There is less than 4 minutes left of racing here. That's a good 3 laps at the minimum, as Thunder's got to hold on against the AT Racing and Hesketh, who do charge him down, ladies and gentlemen. They are aiming for the heat win to go towards the final starting place for round 1. And at the moment, Thunder then hanging it out as he tries to maintain. He's got good pace. He's keeping his speed up, ladies and gents. He's pushing more than you would know. More than you have ever done. More than his mother did at the birth of the child, and he's gone. Oh, my word. That's how hard he was pushing. A lot more than Mama Thunder pushed at the birth. And at Racing then goes through into the lead. No, Hesketh goes through and into the lead. They cannot decide amongst themselves as they come up to Optimus Prime, who I thought he was jumping off the track out of the way. Plenty of track there, sir. No need to jump out of the way. And AT Racing then going for a late break up the inside of the Hesketh, but the Hesketh does protest and stays there in that first place with AT Racing in 2nd spot, chasing him down. Thunder down and into 3rd, but at least he's lost nothing but a bit of pride and 2 places. Beaks under full pressure now from the JD. JD can see that the timer is running out. He's running out of time, he's running out of laps, and he's running out of patience to be sat in 5th place. He wants that 4th. Autosport has been on an absolute push to try and close the gap between them, and it's yellow flag. I think that's just Optimus Prime getting way out the way, and the Hoods then in 7th, dropped off the back of them. Oh no, Beaks has lost the position to JD, Jack Daniels, I don't know, John Daniels, Jim Daniels, Jerry Daniels, Jolly Daniels, Jiminy Daniels, Jay Daniels is taking that 4th place away. Can he keep it? And Autosport here to ruin the Beaks day. Beaks there, 2 spots in 1 lap. It's a tough one. We'll go to Beaks, it's less bouncy. And so Beaks then had to take that one, as JD now has been tagged for Autosport's inspection. Thunder in 3rd. We've got Hesketh still chasing down the win here against the AT Racing, and AT Racing clinging on in the situation that we find ourselves in. Hesketh then again around the outside. Beautiful stuff, but runs out of track, and AT Racing saying all day long, sir, you can take that line all the day long. Oh, a little contact there. I think Hesketh, from his point of angle, I don't think there was contact. I saw some little videos in the Discord. But yeah, AT Racing, I think he felt a nudge, even if there was no nudge. And it looks like Hesketh letting him back through just in case. Yeah, you're going to have to give him a wide berth. You seem to have an invisible wall around your cars. You can't race too close. And the flag is out then, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if anyone's taken it yet. Oh, God, what was that? Autosport going on the Daniels. We'll look at Daniels as we can't watch Autosport. He's bouncing all over the shop. So JD trying to keep that 4th place away from Autosport. He fancied it though. Hesketh though, he has retaken the lead, and Hesketh then takes Heat 2 as At Racing finishes in 3rd, and At Racing finishes in 2nd as Thunder comes home in 4th. Autosport does get that position away from JD as he jitters across the line in 4th, and JD grabs 5th. Beaks in sixth. Can he keep hold of sixth with the Hoods in full fury? At the end there, he does 6-7 for Hoods as well. MJ grabs eighth, not that far away, with Optimus Prime coming around to complete his race. And another heat done then, heat two. All of them points counting towards that final grid. Should we do another transition? Third heat then, and the random grid is Beaks at the top, Daniels in second, AT Racing starts third, Optimus Prime starting fourth, Autosport starts in fifth, Hoods starts in sixth, with MJ in seventh, Hesketh starts eighth, and Thunder starts in ninth place. So without further delay, 15-minute heat, ladies and gentlemen, the final heat of this event. To secure your grid positions, roll up, let's get it on. Beaks off to a great start against the JD as AT Racing closing in. Looking for a way through as he pushes the Beaks forward, it seems. And then tries to get one up the inside, but the Beaks solid on the apex, with Autosport coming from absolutely nowhere there. And flies through the fields rather speedily there. And JD trying to claim that third spot from Autosport, but Autosport very much flying, although they're 4 wide, 3 wide. But Autosport does claim that third spot, and the Beaks still leads with AT Racing in second place, Autosport in third, JD under threat from Hesketh. Hesketh there getting himself involved as MJ in sixth, Thunder is up to seventh, Hoods is in eighth, and Optimus Prime slipping down into ninth as Thunder moves up and into sixth. He's side by side with MJ, it seems, but MJ just getting there ahead in sixth. Then we've got JD in fifth, Hesketh there in fourth. Autosport works his way up and into the front. So Autosport flying on a different kind of fuel at the moment. Out there in the lead with AT Racing chasing him down. And Hesketh then joins them in the top three. JD in fourth with the Beaks, who was our leader last lap around, slipping down and into fifth place. MJ and Thunder trading places at the moment, but MJ a little further ahead, and he's implemented himself in the battle with Beaks and JD. Hesketh chasing down AT, and it's a take two from heat two of the AT Racing and Hesketh battlage, as Autosport leads as he did in heat one. But AT Racing and the Hesketh carry on that battlage as they close in on Autosport ahead. And Beaks and JD going side by side, but JD just slips it up the inside. It's still pretty much side by side there. And MJ, you see, floating around behind them, trying to implement himself in their battle. But JD on the kitty litter at the moment somehow survives that and stays ahead of the Beaks. These sports soft tyres, they've got as much grip off-road as they do on the road, it seems. Thunder then in sixth again. Another one trailing through the sand, but MJ gets the move done up the inside. He was already ahead of Thunder, so somehow slipping back, but the Hoods is the man to watch. Hoods then on board as his car gets a little wayward through the corner, and the Hoods was on the attack then until that very moment, and he's picked up a penalty for his woes as it goes. So Thunder closing in, but we've got 3 wide here with MJ, Daniels and the Beaks coming down into the first corner, and it's the Beaks there, gets it onto the apex, but MJ getting a good drive around the outside, and MJ clings on around the outside and drags his car up and into fourth place, getting himself ready for the feature race that is coming up later on. Beaks then in fifth with Thunder in sixth. We've got JD there in seventh. AT Racing has dropped behind Hesketh now, and Hesketh is ahead of the AT Racing. That battle continues on as Autosport leads the way ahead of the rest of the field. Autosport really finding his place in the MX5 as Hesketh and AT Racing still trying to find that same pace that Autosport has. MJ fourth at the moment as Thunder hangs it out over the curb. And is that going to give JD the opportunity he needs to get himself up and inside of the Thunder? Beeks dropping back to 7th, and he's still got that penalty to pay. So Beeks there falling into Hood's territory, who also has a penalty to pay. And Optimus Prime still getting on top of the MX5 at the moment. Autosport leads Heat 3 as he did in Heat 1, ahead of Hesketh, who's ahead of AT Racing, who's found himself on the wrong side of the AI stewarding system. Thunder and MJ retake on the battle, and they come across each other in a colossal way, and it's cost MJ more than it has done the Thunder. The Thunder able to continue on, and I couldn't even apportion blame. I didn't even really see it. I just saw it quickly, and I just saw both cars going off. Not much contact, to tell you the truth. I don't know if they just followed each other off or what. You have the ability to flick back on YouTube. I don't. Yeah, I could, but I want to make all these heats fit in one little show. So I don't want to waste too much time looking back at incidences and stuff. Beeks there in 6th, with JD in 5th, and Bob at the moment still with that penalty to pay, and Hesketh not being able to find the pace that Autosport's got. Autosport is washing them all. And Thunder in 4th, with JD there in 5th, ready to pay a penalty. Beeks in 6th. The Hoods, MJ, we saw having a bit of a clash with the Thunder, and now ending up behind Hoods in 8th place. The heats have not gone the way MJ would have liked. He's looked very racy in these heats, but the positions have not been there for him. Optimus Prime looks like he's just getting acquainted with the MX5, as Autosport absolutely nails another cracking lap. He's the fastest one on track right now. Hesketh not being able to live with his pace as it stands. AT Racing paying that penalty, dropping off of the rear derriere of the Hesketh at the moment. Thunder in 4th, keeping JD in place in 5th. MJ up to 6th, and Beeks has had a big drop. Oh no, Beeks has had a huge one. And Beeks having a big moment there, falling down into 8th place, putting MJ up to 6th, but the Hoods fancies that 6th place away from MJ. So Hoods then all over the rear derriere of MJ, making it fun, big fun, when you've got a friend to race. And MJ there, not on his own, with Hoods all over his rear derriere in the monster Mazda. And he'll be looking for that position. JD still carrying the penalty, chasing down the Thunder. AT Racing still behind the Hesketh, and both of those are still behind Autosport. We're over halfway in this race now, and Autosport looks to be doing like he did in Heat 1, just pulling away from the rest of the pack. Hesketh in 2nd, we got AT Racing in 3rd, Thunder in 4th, with JD in 5th, Hoods in 6th. MJ slipping down a little bit there. He must have made a small mistake. Yeah, lost 5 seconds that lap against the Hoods. So MJ making a small mistake possibly. His last 2 laps have been in the 38s. Beeks had a big one last time around, but MJ not that far ahead, and MJ not on the pace of it at the moment. Beeks could close up to MJ. Still, there is enough time in this race as Beeks floors it in the Mazda and hunts down that 7th spot, as MJ tries to get back up on pace again. The Hoods flying at the moment, waiting for JD's penalty. JD's paid his penalty, And the Hoods is quite far back. He'd need the JD to make a mistake. Hoods then in 6th, JD in 5th, but he's going faster than he's gone before. Thunder there in 4th, AT Racing still chasing Hesketh, whom is still chasing the Autosport. Nothing gained, nothing lost between the leaders here at the moment. 30.8 from Autosports, 30.7 from Hesketh, and 30.9 and another penalty for AT Racing. Thunder then 4th place and looking very solid, and Thunder, he's got to get a good qualifying position surely. Autosport with the 2 wins, I imagine, is going to put him really virtually on the front row. And I can't think who's been up there. Hesketh, maybe, either the last race and this race. He's both been up there at the sharp end. AT Racing has had some good results apart from the first heat. Thunder has had, I think, 3 good results, really. Oh, no, he slipped back in that first heat, didn't he, into 5th or something. Podium last one, 4th this time round, looking like. So that's got to put Thunder in a good position for quali for the grid to start the next race. JD, he's been sort of mid-pack, so I'd guess he's going to be around mid-table, mid-grid, with Hoods there. He's probably about 6th, is probably about right. 7th for MJ, I'd say there. And Beeks, he's tidy, but he's had a bit of misfortune. Pulled a couple of spots back in that first heat, if I remember. So Beeks then, he'll be wanting to get past MJ. It'll mean a lot, I think, in the grid position. So yeah, and Beeks, it's beneficial to him to try and close the gap up on MJ. And Hoods also, but Hoods has had some pace today. If he can get back into the 33s, 32s, he'll be leaving these guys behind. 34 last time around for MJ, with a 32.2 for the Beeks. Autosport out there in the 31s, loving life. Hesketh, a little bit faster than Autosport last time around. Can he close that gap? We've got 4 minutes to go of Heat 3 here before the grid is set in for the feature race. AT Racing maybe saving himself for the feature race, and Hesketh has caught up the Sport now and is easily up the inside of him. Unbelievable stuff from Hesketh there. It's like they're driving different cars virtually. Autosport losing a bit of time, must have had to lift maybe asked a little bit too much of the Mazda, and he had to get out of it, but Hesketh has picked up a penalty in the meantime, which is great news for Autosport. All he has to do is stay up nice and close to the Hesketh, whilst AT Racing also ditto needs to do the same. Thunder, solid 4th for Thunder here. I don't think he's unless he does something really wacky or silly, other than the anime stickers on the car, then that 4th place is his. Hesketh though up on AT Racing. AT Racing has closed up. Hesketh's penalty did cost him an Autosport back into the lead, but AT Racing fancying that spot as well, and Hesketh again into 3rd, and this could be big news for Autosport. Autosport last time, or no, it was Thunder, I think, leading these two. Needed these two to fall over each other to stay ahead. And at the moment, as they race each other, Hesketh against the AT Racing, and they slow each other down and give Autosport the opportunity he needs to scamper away. We're hitting the 13th minute of this 15-minute heat. Very close, ladies and gentlemen, very close to have that grid wrapped up. And Hesketh and AT Racing going against each other again and costing each other a lot of time, and giving Autosport that win in this 3rd heat. Thunder in 4th, still a solid job, no problems here, sir. Consistent and nice. JD in 5th, keeping it tidy, keeping it clean, keeping ahead of Hoods, who has caught up the MJ one, and yeah, he was ahead of Beeks. So Hoods with that pace has caught up with MJ, but MJ's doing 32s now. So I don't know when Hoods caught up with MJ. But now MJ's pace back into the 32s and now chasing after the hoods. I did hear a rumour that the MJ had a blight of man flu during this event, so he's not burning as hot as he normally would, or probably hotter, but he's not on top form. So the hood's then in 6th. Can he keep hold of it? Can he find the pace to stay ahead of a very fast MJ behind him? 33.3 that time around for the hoods. MJ 32s again. It's tough to see where MJ lost that to the hoods. Oh, movement up here is outracing, and Hesketh going up and into 2nd, but picks up a half a second penalty. Meanwhile, Autosport finding more and more space to move into away from 2nd and 3rd. Thunder nice and all alone in 4th, with JD in 5th. Similar story to Thunder. Hoods being caught by MJ. MJ driving like he means it. The Beaks, oh, what an unfortunate story for the Beaks. He's keeping good pace with the cars ahead of him, which is MJ. So if anything happens betwixt these two, he's there to leap. Optimus Prime, 36.2 there. He's in amongst it at the moment, which is where he doesn't want to be, especially over the line, but it hasn't affected anything. If anything, Bob's got a toe off of him. So Autosport goes across the line with Bob in 2nd and Hesketh there in 3rd. I'm not sure. I think Bob got a toe off of Optimus Prime. Thunder comes home in 4th place. Beautiful drive from all 3 heats for Thunder. JD as well kept himself in the action in 5th. The hoods looks like he survives. Oh no, MJ's had a big drop. MJ, right in the last lap, has had a drop, and it's Hoods coming home in 6th, with the Beaks in 7th, and MJ coming home in 8th, ahead of Optimus Prime, whom already has crossed the line and finished. So great work from Autosport there, with 2 wins out of the 3 heats, and AT Racing and Hesketh in the top tier of the finishers in the heats. Thunder also finding himself in the top halves of the heats, and all of those should get good grid positions come the race. JD in 5th, with the hoods finishing in 6th, Beaks in 7th, MJ in 8th, and Optimus Prime in 9th. So join me and the world racing community for our feature race in the next video. I'll see you soon. Turu, peace and love. Peace and love.